Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Ruth has found the love of her life, but after a series of accidents, she's beginning to suspect someone wants her dead. Is it her ex-husband? Her lover's mysterious friend? Or is it the peculiar lady in the villa next door? Tonight's movie, The Fox with the Velvet Tail.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! The Year of Infamy! Yes! Tonight, we go to my beloved genre of Giallo for a kind of a Spanish type of Giallo here. A movie directed by Jose Maria Forque? I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Anyways, and it is the movie The Fox with a Velvet Tail! Yes, otherwise known as In the Eye of the Hurricane, which, honestly, there's no hurricane in this movie, but I guess you could say it's sort of a psychological hurricane. And there is no real fox in this movie, except she is quite the fox. And man, her tail is kind of velvety, I guess, if you know what I mean. Anyways, so what is this movie about? Well, it stars her. She, I believe her name is Ruth. She is fed up with her man and leaves him. He's very affectionate and loving and wanting of her, and she's just like, you know what, you bore me, get out of here. I mean, it's not quite exactly like that. But anyways, she dumps his ass. I believe his name is like Michael or Michelle or whatever. Anyways, and of course, she has a new love, and that man is so lovey-dovey and caring and awesome, and you get this whole beginning sequence of their love and the Spider-Man kiss in a sort of way, but, you know, just one of the weird, awkward kissing scenes that I've seen. Anyways, everything is wonderful and perfect, except Ruth is starting to experience strange occurrences, like, oh, her brakes give out, or she goes on a scuba diving excursion, and oh, her oxygen tank doesn't work properly. She's starting to suspect that someone may be wanting her to be dead, and of course, well, the ex-boyfriend, the ex-husband, the ex-whomever is the prime suspect. But however, we find out further in the movie that things are a little bit more, I would say, like, devious than we have previously thought. Yes, the lover has this friend who is just weirdly smiling all the time and doesn't really say much, and it's just kind of strange that he's hanging around all over the place. And there's also this other woman who just seems to be everywhere. She's in like the villa next door, and she's like at this place and this place, and like what's going on? And so she, is starting to get real paranoid, and things are not what they seem. And honestly, toward the end, there is an interesting kind of twist on what's going on, and an ending that actually I find kind of satisfying and interesting in a way. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I am gonna give this a 0.5 out of 5 because let's face it, there isn't really much violence in this movie. I mean, like literally, there's just not much. There's not really blood and gore or anything like that. Just some physical violence, and that's about it. So, 0.5 out of 5. Going to shock value, 0 out of 5. Look, there's no jump scares. I guess you could say there's a few tense moments, but there's nothing in this movie that just kind of goes, oh, the twist ending, while interesting and entertaining, and I like it, wasn't like, something that just like, oh man, just punches you in the face or slaps you or anything. So anyways, shock value, 0 out of 5. Honestly, this is going to get a pretty bad average score because of these first two scores. We'll go to the plot. The plot is a 2 out of 5, and look, it is a giallo. So there is a bunch of confusion in there. Things are strange and don't quite follow here and there. However, it does do a decent job of having a certain thread, and I do like how they ended the movie, and that's where I'm getting most of that score is. But the beginning is so bogged down by the, let's establish the love and, the good times and stuff like that, that it's just so slow in progressing towards anything that it just kind of kills it in the beginning of the movie. And, you need to have something, the hook. I mean, usually in a giallo, you get a hook in that beginning, that kind of, that murder that sets things up, or that event that just, hits you and go, okay, everything's going to kind of revolve around that. And I mean, there was an event, there was the breakup, but still it was not like an eventful event. Anyways, so 2 out of 5. Acting, I'm actually going to give this a solid 3 out of 5. Normally, 2.5 to 2 for giallos, but I enjoyed the acting and the dubbing of most people involved. Yes, it's still a bit hammy here and there, but actually I think the new boyfriend, I think he does a really good job. He really kind of is the standout here. The girl who plays Ruth, typical giallo type performance, a little bit, over the top, when it comes to like, oh my god, stuff's happening, and this and that. And, her character, very typical, overacted. And, I just, still, overall, strong in consideration of the giallo normal. So I'm giving it above average, 3 out of 5. Nudity, I am going to be giving this a 1.5 out of 5. Yes, for a movie that doesn't have a lot of violence or gore and moves very slowly, I would have thought that they probably would have tried to sleaze it up a bit more to kind of get you. But honestly, there isn't all that much. I mean, yes, you get to see the lovely derriere of Ruth and some side boobage here, but it's this character that you actually get quite an eyeful, and I'm not complaining. She's very nice, very, very nice, but still kind of disappointing when you think of all the other sort of sprinkles and sugar and extra toppings you want on your giallo ice cream, and you just don't quite get it there. So 1.5 out of 5. Moving on to enjoyment factor. This is kind of going to be a theme, I believe, for a lot of movies that I'm running here. It's going to be a 3 out of 5 because, look, once again, giallo is one of my faves. I have grown to love it so much. And all the cliches and all the tropes of giallos, I eat up. And so there's something about it. It's warm and fuzzy. Yes, the beginning is slow and it's kind of tedious and overbearing, and you're like, oh, come on, let's get on with it. And yes, it's weird, but I like weird. And yeah, there's not a lot of violence and gore and stuff like that. But yeah, I super appreciate the ending, the way the movie resolves itself. I really appreciate that. And in the end, it was an enjoyable experience for me. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 for me, and I think giallo fans will find something in here worthwhile. I think it's definitely worth a watch for a giallo fan. However, my overall impression, try to get the personal stuff out of the way, is a 2 out of 5. A movie that is just, it has potential, but it just doesn't really deliver the goods the way that it should. And so, yes, it's definitely subpar in a lot of aspects. The violence, the gore, the shock value, the way they set it up. I mean, I can see what they're doing, and like I said, I personally like it, but it's definitely, when you look at it objectively and through like a regular lens, it's a little subpar. So 2 out of 5, and that unfortunately averages out to a really bad 1.7 out of 5. Honestly, it's not that bad, especially if you're a big fan of Giallos and you want something maybe a little bit lighter that you can watch with your non-horror loving, significant other. Maybe even as sort of a gateway, an introduction to the Giallo. I think it's still worth something to check out. The Fox with a Velvet Tail, otherwise known as In the Eye of the Hurricane. So there you have it. And that's it for another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. Remember, please tell me what you think. Have you seen The Fox with the Velvet Tail? What do you think? Put that in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Anyways, as always, blah, blah, blah. Rate, comment, subscribe, yada, yada. All the YouTube jargon that doesn't even matter anymore because, let's face it, everything's a mess. And I will, talk to you guys later on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And remember, internet, to stay scary. And always, always check your brakes. Check your brakes and, of course, your scuba diving equipment before heading out. Because, let's just say, remember, safety first, people. Safety first. And, of course, you never know if someone's, trying to kill you. I'm just saying. All right? Ah.